Hello, and welcome to episode 21 of the Cooler Guild. I'm your host, Coop, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host, Van.
Hello.
We are recording on Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. On today's episode, we'll be discussing Reign finally breaking their losing streak with a win at home versus the Houston Dash. This
Woo!
is a dub pod, baby. We'll also be taking a look at a few other results from around the league, the payoff picture, and then we'll also preview the next and final Reign match of the season. But first, some housekeeping.
The Cooler Guild is part of the Sounder at Heart podcast network. You can either listen to us on our public feed or, if you're a Sounder at Heart subscriber, on the private unified feed with the other podcasts on the network. If you'd like to become a subscriber, just visit our page at sounderatheart.com/the Cooler Guild. New subscribers get 10% off the normal rate, and you'll help support everything we're doing.
Cool.
Dub pod, I love this. Did anything else great happen in your life this week?
I mean, I don't know if this is great because of their circumstances, but I watched the Tegan and Sarah documentary.
Oh, I forgot about that. I
Yeah.
saw a TikTok about it, and I was like, this looks insane.
Yeah, I wanted to save it to tell you that I watched it for this. I was like, I don't want to talk about it until then. It was because I don't know, we were trying to find a movie to watch. And I don't usually like watching true like documentaries or any true crime stuff right before bed, but my love for Tegan and Sarah goes back pretty far. And I have a Tegan and Sarah tattoo, but yeah, it was wild. We just like watched the trailer for it on Hulu, and then I was like, well, guess we're watching this. And I mean, I had no clue any of this was going on. I hadn't heard anything about it. I mean, they didn't talk about it. Like Tegan didn't talk about it. You know, did you see that
Tegan wasn't DMing you?
I know, I was trying to think, like, had I heard of somebody talking to Tegan at like one of the shows I went to? Because I used to go to like a lot of their shows, and like they were really personal. Like Tegan would talk to like lots of people, which is like what the documentary talks about. It's like Tegan would always talk to lots of people, and that's like kind of why it was so believable.
So the documentary, is, from what I understand, is like somebody pretended to be them and catfished a bunch of people.
They pretended just to be Tegan. It wasn't Sarah.
Okay.
And they called the fake Tegan Fegan. But like they like broke into like I can't remember who on their staff. I don't want to spoil too many things because I think everyone should go watch it. They had like the demos and like emails of like personal stuff of Tegan's and shit. And so like this person who was pretending to be Tegan was like sharing like the demos of like unreleased shit to like all of these people. It's wild.
That's
It was so
nuts.
wild. And like they still haven't figured out who did it. And they like tell you that at the beginning. They like kind of allude to like they didn't figure out who it is. They have like some suspects, so you can kind of guess if you want. And then like they kind of reveal something at the end. We don't have like super conclusive like answers still.
Yeah, there's probably some ongoing legal stuff where they can't speculate too hard.
You should go check it out. Did you do anything? Watch anything cool? Do anything cool?
No.
Okay.
I watched a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
It's kind of a downer weekend for me, other than the win. The win really, canceled some shit out for me. So
that's nice. Should we go into the match?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, little match recap. On Friday night, Reign took on last place Houston at Lumen Field in what was the Reign's final home match of the season. The team entered the match having already been eliminated from the playoffs after last week's game, but that didn't stop the players from trying to prove that they are still motivated to end the season on a high note. After not scoring in their previous 5 matches, Reign got on the score sheet first in the 22nd minute, all thanks to Olivia Athens hitting an absolute banger. So good. That goal is like ridiculous.
It was incredible.
When she hit that, I was like, oh, that's going in. I just knew it.
You could, it just felt like
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was short-lived, though. It was a very short-lived celebration. Lou Barnes conceded a penalty on the opposite end 3 minutes later, which Houston put away to tie up the game. First half ended 1-1. Reign came out in the second half looking a lot more composed, super threatening. Monteser was taking on defenders all game, and she was rewarded with her first goal in the NWSL in the 65th minute with a nice little nutmeg through the keeper's legs. We love that. Game ended 2-1, giving Reign their 6th win of the season, and they were able to close out their home stand on a positive note.
Woo woo!
We love this.
So great.
Yeah.
I was right.
You were right. I mean, we will like once again point out the team we were playing was in last place. This kind of was the toilet bowl, as you said.
Yeah.
But we won.
Yeah. We're not going to finish the season in last place.
No. Well,
hopefully.
Are we officially like not able to? Let's see. I'm just curious now. I haven't checked because I'm just.
I think that Houston would have to score a bunch of goals.
Okay. Yeah. So we're looking pretty good for a bad season, for a really bad season. We're not going to end last. Hopefully not getting the wooden spoon. We are playing Orlando next, but we'll get into that later. Did you have any general thoughts about this match or anything?
Thank God someone scored.
And we got
I would like
two.
to point out, so the Athens goal, I would consider that gonna play. It's kind of a mixture because it was an Adamas corner, got kind of headed out, and that's when it bounced, and then Athens just hit through it.
Oh shit. Do you have a beer?
No, I have
Oh,
water.
I got a celebratory beer.
I've got celebratory water.
Okay, great. I'll pop this bad boy open to a dub pod.
To a dev pod.
Ah!
Coop just opened her beer, and it seems to have gotten
It's kind of, I don't want to
all
say
over
the
the
word
place.
splooged, but it kind of splooged on me. Oh God, it's dripping everywhere. This is a disaster for me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why is it like this? It's like foamy everywhere. It's like out of the
What
can and
what beer
everything.
is it?
The Guild collab
Oh,
beer.
the Guild collab.
Yeah, I don't know. It's spilling all over me. This is whatever. This summarizes the season pretty well. Let's be honest. I got a little ahead of myself.
General notes. The team as a whole, what I noticed while rewatching the game today, players were like smiling and looking like they enjoyed themselves. When the game was still tied 1-1. And that just seemed there was some sort of, I don't know, maybe that was because the pressure of like not getting eliminated from playoffs had fallen away because they got eliminated. And it's like, well, now, we're only playing for ourselves and for the fans. So,
Yeah, they looked good. I mean, granted, this was like a Houston team that sucks really bad.
mhm.
But the camaraderie, I think, yeah, I think that's what I saw out of the team. We have seen, like, I don't ever look at this team and think that, like, the vibes are bad.
No.
Just the situation is bad that
Mhm.
we are in. But yeah, I agree. Playing for the fans for the last home game really helped. So shout out to everyone who made it out there. I feel like the attendance was actually pretty high for a
Mhm.
Friday night match because those don't, I don't know. I don't
In
ever
the rain.
yeah, I don't expect those games to be super high in attendance, but they got 8,456 people there. I think it's pretty good. I would obviously like to see us start getting over 10,000 consistently, but get to that area in Seattle on a Friday night. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, sign some big players in the off season. You'll
Yeah.
probably up your attendance. It was the first time the team has worn white at home.
Yeah, it seemed like nobody knew that was gonna happen.
No, Olivia Athens said that she didn't know until they got into the locker room. Was like, oh,
And Harvey didn't know, and she was like, I guess we have to wear white again. She's like super superstitious about stuff like that. So she's like wants to keep that going, I guess. I don't hate the white. I wish they had dark shorts.
yeah. The gray could be a little bit more defined.
I think these kits are a one-time thing. Because I think every team has a one-time thing because they're trying to get the every other season with a new jersey thing on track.
Mm-hmm.
And since we haven't really had that, I think this is a one-off jersey from what I remember hearing at least.
We had to release those like super closely after the rebrand too.
Yeah, I mean,
And we were all like, this could be really bad or it could
yeah.
be fine. And it was fine. So,
Yeah, I think they're fine. Definitely looking forward to whatever comes next year.
mm-hmm.
But it should be I'm guessing they'll do white again.
Yeah.
Notable stats once again. 25 different starting 11s through 25 matches. I mean, you're out eliminated from the playoffs, so you might as well just try something.
Pretty much. And with the availability that we've had, and we talked about this last week, it's part of the problem with not being able to find consistency or like who our, defined starters are is that we don't have a consistent starting 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually like not just one player we're swapping out. It's like between 2 and 5.
It's all over the place.
It's crazy. 16 of 25 matches now for us have been decided by one goal. What does that say to you?
I think that tells me that we're not a team that's completely off the rails. And especially when I think about the goals that we've conceded, a lot of times I think it's like what was someone doing in that instance. It's not like I don't know. It's not like we're getting outplayed all the time. It's just like these mental lapses, poor decision making in a moment, and things that I think that they can go look back on film and be like, oh shit, shouldn't have done that, or I won't do that again, kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can clean that stuff up off season, preseason, all with everybody playing together, I think we'll have a pretty solid team next year. I think the thing that still worries me is goal scoring, obviously, but the fact that we're staying in games is super encouraging.
Yeah. I think it really speaks to the defense. Yeah. It says the same two things to me. Like, we're not off the rails. The defense has been generally okay and sometimes pretty good.
Mhm.
And we're not scoring enough goals.
Yeah. Some teams are like getting bammed on and then they don't have a response.
Yeah.
It seems like we tend to have a response and we don't let a goal affect us, too much.
Well, we've had a lot of practice going down first.
It's true, unfortunately.
I think there's some of that in there too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know this.
Yeah, so because we had so many shots on goal and Jane Campbell had to make so many saves because we're such a threatening team now. Um
Just like last week, we said the exact opposite.
Jane Campbell reached 113 saves on the season. So it's a new NWSL single season record.
And they're still in last place.
Well, that's why they're in last place, because she's had to make 113 saves.
Yeah.
And they're in
Yeah.
last
She's trying her hardest.
She's doing the best she can, honestly. And neither of those goals that we scored on her, like, really she could have done anything about. She was coming out to get big, and Mondesir kept the ball really close on the ground and was able to poke it in. I mean, if you look at the slow-mo, you can see her body positioning is pretty spot on what exactly you'd want your goalkeeper to do. It's just really hard to save something that close. So as a goalkeeper union, we have to recognize Jane Campbell. Congrats.
Moving on to positives. We got some positives, and it's not like desperate positives either.
We have more positives than negatives this game.
Woohoo! Said it, but we ended on a high note for the last home match of the season, at least. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, you've got fans that have been coming to games this entire season. The attendance has dropped, but not.
There's been factors to a lot of those lower attendance games too.
Yeah, but it hasn't like plummeted with the streak of bad that this team has had.
No, they were eliminated before this game, and we still had over 8,000 people show up.
Yeah, so I think that's a testament to the club, to the players, and fans know that you're going to get, players that are going to try and win this game.
Yeah.
It was fan appreciation night too, and they gave Harvey her 100 jersey before the match.
100, was it 100 wins, right? Yeah, that was cool.
Olivia Athens, man, she had herself a game.
I've been wanting to see more of her for a long time.
Yeah, and I remember Susie talking about how she has looked good the last couple times she's come on the field, and she might be a difference maker, and it's exactly what she was.
Even without, I mean, the goal was ridiculous, but even without the goal, I feel like what she was bringing to the midfield and everything is like a lot of what we've been missing. I was really impressed with her. I hope we get to see more of her. And it was kind of interesting listening to the post-game presser with Harvey talking about her and just giving her so much praise. And I don't know, she just seems like ready to get in and is looking for any opportunity she can get. So
love it for her.
I do too. But this is a huge positive. Mondesir, first start, first goal.
Amazing.
You've been wanting to see. I mean, I think not just you. Literally everybody's been wanting to see Mondesir start.
She just adds such a different dynamic up front. And one thing that really hit me, saw it a lot kind of towards the middle end of the first half, and into the second half. Her and Adames connecting was awesome. We have not seen our midfield handle the ball and work through to get it forward in a while. And this just felt like, there might be something here.
Yeah.
Because they were both taking players on. They were creating those little triangles in the midfield. So a lot of times in the past couple games, we've been getting the ball and had no one to pass it to. So we got to go backwards. But they're opening up channels. You see the movement. I will add that Heidema also played really well in this game. She was doing the same thing. She was making runs. She was being more dynamic. And so I think that it just rubs off on players when you get somebody in that just adds that little bit extra and everybody else kind of follows suit.
Yeah, it was kind of, did you listen to the post-game presser with Harvey? They talked about how Mondesir, like, it sounds like they've been wanting to get her to start for quite a while. But there's been a bunch of other factors. And this is what I guess where Harvey's doesn't tell us what's going on behind the scenes a lot.
Yeah.
But it would have this would have eased my mind a little bit knowing this before. But Mondesir has had a whole bunch of things going on, had to fly to DC for one day to get a visa approval. She's like, well, I can't start her after she's just flown across the country and back.
Yeah.
And that I was like, well, that makes sense. It would be nice to know that because then I wouldn't be sitting here upset about her not starting. But then after that, all that stuff got cleared up and she had like a good week of training or whatever. She was like, I'm starting her no matter what.
Yeah,
Like,
wherever we can put her on the field, I'm
yeah,
gonna put her on.
yeah. And it worked out great.
Yeah, she was great. I love what she adds to the team. And I think it's something we've really been missing.
Yeah.
Same with Adamas. I like Adamas.
Yeah.
She's got a little bit of she's a fighter.
Yeah, she's got that edge.
Yeah.
Totally.
And she's only 18.
She's a baby.
But she kind of kicked off the match, beating people in the final third, getting the ball into dangerous spaces, fighting to win it back. So I thought that was a cool thing to see.
Future's bright for her. So we just gotta make sure we get her playing well and not overdoing it as well. But I think the team also needs to be winning because she looks like somebody who is not gonna be content at a team that is not doing well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I kept getting like a little bit frustrated because like that final shot she'd take or whatnot just wasn't quite there, and so I had to look up and I was like, oh, she's 18.
yeah, yeah,
that makes sense.
It'll come. We've been spoiled with seeing so many like young phenoms in this league that I think it kind of like clouds our reactions. We just get like too like excited about it and hope more, but like some of these players, it's just like unreal natural ability. I'm not saying Adamas doesn't have that, but like I don't know how has Utah got like this young kid who's just playing so well, and Angel City also has somebody that's playing so well as like super young. I don't know. I think that the right circumstances just set these players up.
I mean, I think we do have that, but it's on our defensive line. It's Jordan Buck.
Yeah, that's true. And honestly, I'll take a long-term elite center back all day. Those are hard to find.
Yeah, it's just a different, she's not out there scoring goals and making her mark on the match in that way. And so I think we don't really compare them.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, I think like she is just as important.
Absolutely. What else you got?
To me, it looked like they wanted to score. There was a sense of wanting to go forward that we haven't seen.
What was the stats from the last game for our shots? We had 3 shots.
Awful.
3 shots, 1 on target. I mean, they were all sad attempts too. We did get our asses handed to us last game, but that was also that red card game. We went from what looked like the least threatening team to like looking like a team that actually, I don't know, I'd be a little worried of us.
Yeah. I mean, we had 12 shots, 5 on target.
No complaints.
No, that's 4 times more than the last game.
Yeah. I still need Haidama to just finally break through though. One day it's gonna happen, and then I feel like the floodgates are gonna open after that because she gets so close, and it's just it hasn't broken through this year. But we have to remember she broke her back.
Yeah, and she's also been improving in other ways. She's actually become a really good hold up player. I think she listened to our advice and put on some muscle because you're not seeing her fall down every time she gets hit now.
Yeah.
Except when she got smacked straight in the side of the head with a ball.
Anyone's falling when that happens.
Yeah. And I think that like defensively, when we lose the ball in the final third, she's puts herself in really good positions and is really good defensively up top. So I think, yes, she needs to be scoring goals, but I don't know. She has things to look back on the season positively about, I think. But definitely like the biggest thing is she needs to be scoring.
I do think the preseason with everybody together is gonna do wonders. So because we really haven't had all of these players together.
No.
We're kind of just hanging out and hoping for the best.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to mention it's not really positive, but if it had gone in, it would have been sick. Latsko's left-footed shot that curled just outside
Oh, fuck. That was nuts.
It was gnarly.
We would have had 2 goals up for goal of the week. I mean, that was so close to going in too.
Yeah, it didn't miss by much.
She hit that so well.
Yeah.
Now I'm sad again. Negatives. We gave up a penalty right after scoring.
It was so stupid too.
And I also didn't expect that from, I mean, I know Lou Barnes hasn't been playing as much as she used to and starting and all that, but you would hope that your veteran center back wouldn't do something that silly, especially right after scoring.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing, but I don't know. I guess every now and then your veteran is allowed some sort of big error.
Yeah. She was like, well, I guess I'll stop you. I'll just stick my leg out and trip you.
Just like, and it was just like we've been dealing with quick restarts, conceding right after we score, right out of the half, right at the kickoff, and I feel like this is like what's got to happen for this to stop?
I don't know. That was so easily avoidable too.
Yeah,
And she took her touch away from goal to get around Lou Barnes. So yeah, it's just
silly.
dumbfounded, silly. Yeah. There was about 70 minutes where I could not tell that Ziara King was on the field.
I don't know. I don't know if it was just because everything was so different than usual.
Everyone else is adapting.
Yeah, that's the thing, is everyone else did adapt to it, so not great.
She had some moments in the second half, maybe two.
Yeah, but we've got, I don't know. I guess when you have a new player who is getting their first start, more than likely they're gonna want to take that moment and try to shine, which is what we got with Montezir. And then Adama has had her moments of looking dynamic. But like I mean, she should be feeling like fighting for her position, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not a given.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It was just really lackluster.
yeah. She's out of contract this year, isn't she? I think she might be a free agent at the end of this year, and that'll be interesting to see maybe what happens
Yeah.
because of whatever maybe it's going on with Fishlock.
Yeah, because we've been without her, what, now for 4 games?
Yeah,
5?
quite a while. My what I'm curious about, and this is just pure my own speculation. I can't imagine Fishlock going to another team in the NWSL, but if she's interested in making a push with Wales to the Euros, would she want to go back home, closer to home somewhere? Um,
Could be.
could be.
Um, Another thing that we keep doing, I don't know why, just straight up giving the ball away, passing to the wrong team.
Yeah, G's when you pointed that out to me. I mean, I kind of noticed it before, but then once you said G is pretty guilty of that, I was like, shit.
She takes like 4 touches on the ball and is like suddenly surprised when there's 3 defenders around her.
Which
And
I would,
usually like I can excuse it because no one around her is moving.
yeah, but this game is a little
This
different.
game was so different. Plenty of opportunities to get rid of the ball quicker, but she's just sitting there dancing on it and then
Which,
whoop.
yeah, I think it's something she could adjust to.
There was another time where like we were clearing the ball out of our box and somebody got it like towards the edge of the 18 and I think it might have been Haidema or might have been Latsko was like running on the right hand side and you could have easily like just passed the ball off to that running player. Instead, you kicked it 15 yards and gave it away, just putting yourself back under pressure. They need to
Yeah,
be smarter about clearing the ball.
yeah, that's been a grievance of mine for this season. Just boot it. I don't care. At this point, we're so bad. You just gotta boot it. I don't need you to try to have some finesse,
Get it as far away as possible. But
please.
even in that instance, like the player was wide open and
Yeah,
had space to run.
yeah.
That'll, if anything, take time, right? Alleviating some of the pressure, letting the defense step up. But nope, we're just gonna give it away.
Post-match presser notes. Laura Harvey she talked about Olivia Athens getting the armband. And she talked about like they've been kind of just like rotating the armband quite a bit because she
Yeah,
thinks that it kind of can help players step up their game. And I think that's kind of what you mentioned with when Haidema got it.
yeah,
And I think she just talked about how like Olivia's just, I don't know, dedicated, loves this team, loves the fans, and she's a hard worker and she's been here for a while and it made sense. So
yeah. I really liked what Olivia Athens said in the press conference. Just how for her it's a mentality because she was asked a question, what's it been like? Some games you're not on,
hmm
you're not on the player sheet. You're not even dressing for the game. And then other times, you get thrown into a starting position. And she talked about how it's for her, it's just a mentality thing that she needs to be ready. And that just goes to show that she's a dedicated teammate.
she for as ready as she was for that, she did say to Lou, well, or she like looking at her like, what the fuck? Why are you sure you want me to have the armband? I'm like, girl, you've just been balling out, of course.
Yeah, she had a great game.
And the player imposed master pressure, they had Olivia Athens and Coco there. And Athens credited Scott, which, I feel like we've been a little harsh maybe on him, but she credited Scott, assistant coach, on her positioning for that goal. She kind of knew to be there in case the ball came out, and she was ready.
She was real ready.
She really just fucking she hit that as good as you can fucking hit it.
It was like butter.
It's too bad. It's not gonna win goal of the week. because Sidney Lewis scored an absolute ridiculous goal. But this might be up there for my top three rain goals of the season.
Yeah, for sure. It was so satisfying. Olivia Athens also talked about just the team and her personally being sick and tired of the way that they've been playing and losing games. So they wanted to come out and make this one count as the last home game of the season, which we figured,
Yeah,
but didn't know how that would actually result.
if it would result.
Yeah.
I think it was the right combination of everything. Last home game of the season versus Houston, the worst team in the league. Nothing's a given in this league, right? We just lost to Houston.
Yeah.
So like as much as I can shit on them and say they're last place, we fucking lost to them.
Yeah.
So I wasn't 100% sure we were gonna win this. But they got the job done. So I'm happy.
Yeah, it was such a good relief and it gives the players a little bit of belief going into the next match. I did think it was great to have Coco in the presser. They had translated for her in French, but she talked about how, it is kind of scary coming into a new team in a new country, where you don't know anybody, but that players have been really, really great and the staff's been really good. And the broadcasters were talking about when they went to training the day before and she was getting English lessons.
I can't imagine doing that. Like moving to another country and then you barely know the language or like you definitely need to like learn it better. I think there was one question in the interview where whoever asked it was speaking a little bit slower. So I don't think she used the translator for that.
No, she answered in French, but she didn't use the translator.
Yeah, for like translator to relay the question back to her. So that was pretty cool to see.
She talked about how it was really good to be, even though she's here where she didn't know anybody, in a new country, that the coaches and all of her teammates were understanding and really helping her adapt.
What I would like to see in the off season or whenever we do another signing, I'd like to see us get a French speaking signing who also is pretty fluent in English to really help pair with Mondesir.
Who could that be? Wendy Renard.
She's pretty ancient now, isn't she?
Well, we've got Adamas putting in crosses. I feel like Wendy Renard could put some of those in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to do some thinking about who I think it should be. But I think that it could be really interesting. And we've got the need. We've got a need to bring someone in. Why not get someone from the French national team or I don't know, something like that. There's a lot of other countries that speak French.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, colonization.
I mean, yeah.
I think that's pretty much it on our notes for the match. You want to move on to the cool player of the match?
I sure do.
Cooler player of the match is brought to you by the Doctor's Office, a great little 12-seat bar on Capitol Hill. The owner is a big fan of the rain and is proud to be our very first sponsor.
Drum roll. Stop.
I can roll my R's. Anytime you need that, let me know.
All right, this week's cooler. Sorry.
Get it together, man.
You scrambled my brain with that.
I'm about to do it again.
Don't. I might lose it. The Doctor's Office cooler player of the match this week is Olivia Athens.
Bam, bam, bam.
Great game. Congratulations on scoring that absolute banger. And welcome to the Cooler Player of the Match Hall of Fame, Olivia Athens.
Welcome.
The Doctor's Office is the best place to grab a drink before or after a rain match. Celebrate all of the rain's wins this season with a 6 agave Sazerac. A classic. What?
6 agave for our 6 wins. Hopefully we have more than that next year.
It is a classic Sazerac with neither rye nor brandy, rather a divine balance of 4 mezcals, 1 tequila, and 1 I don't know how to pronounce. For the agave aficionados and Sazerac true believers. Check out their Instagram at TDO Seattle, or better yet, go drink there in person.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Other notes, moving on to the rest of the league and things that happened that we want to talk about. Number 1.
Portland lost.
They did.
So they're still fighting for a playoff spot.
I mean, they're gonna get in. I don't see a situation when they don't get in. What's the situations? They're looking pretty fine with their goal differential. I think it's gonna save them.
In order to get eliminated, they would have to lose and 2 other teams would have to win.
Yeah, but because oh god, I'm really bad at math. So this isn't a fun game for me right now because the goal differential. So if Racing wins and they go up to 31, and then presumably their goal differential changes, they're 31. So yeah, I guess Racing would have to win with a decent amount of goals.
Yeah.
Portland would have to lose. Bay would also have to win.
Stranger things have happened.
And also don't think what I'm saying is true. This is just what I'm looking at the standings and being really bad at math. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, stranger things have happened, like when we won the 2022 Shield.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'll hold out for sure. That'd be cool and fun. But Portland's playing Angel City last. I don't know. Angel City is pretty wishy-washy.
Yeah.
They could win, but I don't know. Angel City's pretty wishy-washy, and I don't have a clue about what Racing Louisville is going to do on any given day of the week. But they're playing San Diego way last, and they're definitely worse than Racing.
Yeah, they are.
Unfortunately, Portland has listened to our podcast, it seems, because they have moved on. Well, she's working another role inside the organization, but they have fired Karina LeBlanc from her position as GM,
Mm-hmm.
which is really unfortunate as a Rain fan because I thought
They
she was
didn't
doing a great
fire
job.
her.
No, she just got moved somewhere else. Well, she got
Yeah.
fired from the GM job. Let's be clear.
She's working it through the end of the season and then moving on to whatever group bought the Thorns and is in charge of the new WNBA team that's coming.
Yeah, I was a big fan of her and what she was doing there. So I'm devastated. She really knew what she was doing.
Made so many good choices.
Yeah. Sydney LaRugel, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's going to be goal of the week.
It was.
It was. It got announced already.
I think so.
If it's not, it's going to be announced tomorrow.
I saw there's no way anybody could catch up in the voting either way.
She made that look so fucking easy.
She chests it up and then somehow gets around it and I don't know how she did it.
It like looked like a little like what you would do to pass a ball back to like your keeper or something like that, but it just like lobs perfectly into the fucking net.
Yeah, it was so good.
Ridiculous touch. Absolutely ridiculous touch.
Really bad week for Olivia Athens to score a banger.
But we'll always remember because she was cool player of the match.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big kind of cool thing that I didn't realize we were going to have to be able to. I didn't realize we were going to be able to see something like this season. Chewinga has scored against every single team in the NWSL in one season.
Every single team except her own.
She should try for an own goal.
This is what I say.
You want to do the full thing, you got to do the own goal.
What a monster stat, though.
Yeah.
She also has the single season scoring record.
That's not surprising. She's just been on an absolute tear since getting in this league.
Incredible.
Must be nice to be KC right now.
Yeah, I really wonder what they're going to look like in the playoffs because I don't know if there's a team that can handle Chewinga.
She hasn't scored every game. So,
no.
You just got to figure it out for one match how to stop her.
That's true.
And do a Sweden. The old trusty. Just do a Sweden. And then someone...
Those were the worst games.
I know. Then we'll have some goalkeeper chime in about how it was the dumbest thing to ever play. But I wouldn't shame anybody for trying that on Chewinga.
No.
Maybe we had a double red card in the Chicago versus Spirit match.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. There was like a fight. It wasn't like a full fight. It was just like two players having like a very physical scuffle. Which
it just seems super reactionary. Like,
yeah.
You grabbed me, so I'm gonna swing at you, and it's like,
yeah.
Whoa, what happened?
Someone's hair got pulled, and then a fist came flying after that, which I would have been throwing a fist too if someone was yanking my hair like that. So then they had like a VR because I don't think they caught both of them.
Yeah, because one was in like the 70th minute, and then another one was in like the 73rd minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, did these happen at the same time?
I mean, I do, I don't want to see it from my team, but I love seeing those kinds of things.
It's fiery. It's fiery. I like it.
It's fun. Plus, like, you got to get your red cards out now before the playoffs start.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening to the Sounder at Heart Podcast Network, which now includes No Sarietes, Lobbing Scorchers, and the Cooler Guild. We've been independent since August of 2023, but need your support to make sure it continues. Although this podcast is free, it's only made possible by your continued support. Memberships start as low as $25 a year, which not only helps make podcasts like this one happen, but also gets you access to everything we produce. If you're able to support us at higher levels, starting at $75 a year, You gain access to a host of other perks, most notably entry into our members-only Discord, where the smartest, funniest, and most engaged commenters share their thoughts and ideas. To find out more, just visit sounderatheart.com and click the subscribe button in the top right corner. Thanks for listening.
Anything else from the NWSL?
I do want to talk about the NWSL television show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on television. It is on the internet. It is on X, formerly known as Twitter. The first episode came out on Friday. I watched it. It is incredible.
Well, it's incredible. I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting. I've been busy, but I assume it's incredible because of Nikki Stanton.
She is born for this. We've known this, and we've been saying this since the very beginning. She has the most amazing, weird personality, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So right after she gets in the house, and this is something that apparently I didn't know the full extent of how it kind of worked, but Midge Purse put this together.
Yeah, she was a producer.
So Midge is in charge of this house. So everybody gets there and meets Midge, and Nikki gets there, and they go in the elevator because there's an elevator in this mansion, and they get stuck in the elevator.
Midge and Nikki?
Midge and Nikki.
Was this did Midge set this up, or is this just actually a freak accident?
No, they had to have an engineer or somebody come out and fix it.
Yeah.
But they were stuck in the elevator for over an hour.
Oh my God.
Midge, there's a point at which Midge goes, "This might be the worst person to ever be stuck in an elevator." But I can't ruin it for you, but there's a really, really funny moment where Nikki Stanton does something that she has no idea is really insensitive and borderline racist.
Oh no, girl.
And Midge calls her out on.
Good.
You have to watch it. It's so funny.
I will. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
It turns out to be just incredible.
They're half-hour episodes, right? Or something like that. Close to it. See, I wasn't sure what the format was because I kept just getting clips, and I was just is it just this weird thing? But then I saw today the full video, and I was like, okay, I'm watching that.
It's cool. It's really well done. I mean, they've got professional chefs,
nice
private chefs in there. And so they're taking care of their bodies. They've got trainers at the field.
Yeah, I need this every year, every off season of the NWSL. I don't know why this market or this idea hasn't been tapped into until now, but it is such a genius thing.
And at one point they're there is somebody showing up tomorrow, one last person showing up tomorrow. And I think Paige Nielsen goes, "Is it one of my exes?"
Oh my God. Non-soccer related, WNBA finals were on. Probably one of the best WNBA finals you could have asked for.
It was insane. Every game.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. I was really pulling for Minnesota just because they're the underdogs, but they had some problem. I mean, both sides had problems shooting. It was a very low scoring game. It was kind of upsetting how bad things were going for Minnesota at the end with shooting. That last call, I don't think it was fair, but I'm also why didn't you shoot better?
That's the thing. You can pinpoint. It's kind of like the penalty call, right?
Yep.
In the last rain game. It didn't lose the game for them, but it definitely could have changed.
Yeah.
But you could have fixed it yourself by scoring more points.
What was Courtney Williams? Was her field goal percentage?
Oh, it was something terrible.
Which she had been it was funny to me because she was talking about being in her bag, right? The last 2 games ago, right? Game 4 or
and
whatever.
She's been playing really, really well. So
she has, but after she said that she was in her bag, she just wasn't making anything. I was like, oh no, this is gonna backfire. She was like, I don't want to be a target bag. And I was like, you turned into a target bag.
Yeah, you did.
Went from a Birkin to a target bag. You set yourself up for that though once you said Birkin. But congrats to Liberty. Obviously got some bitter feelings about Breonna Stewart, but she was getting death threats. Her and her wife were getting death threats and stuff. So I'm not gonna be anti Breonna Stewart winning the championship after having to deal with that kind of crazy shit. Plus, now someone from my high school that I graduated with has now won 2 WNBA championships. And I don't think many people can say that.
Shout out Courtney Vandersloot.
Next match for the Reign.
So next match, Saturday, November 2nd, 2024 at 2 p.m. And that is at Orlando away. So Orlando is kind of on a losing streak.
That's right.
Yep. They've lost their last 2 matches. Haven't scored a goal in the run of play in the last 3 matches. Heartening for us.
They did get an own goal. And I don't know if I couldn't tell, should I count that as a goal in the run of play? They didn't. Their own player didn't score it though. So yeah, they're doing too hot for a team that was looking like the most dangerous team going into the playoffs. This is not the form you want to go in on.
No, so that worries me
Yeah, absolutely.
for our game
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, we gotta get things back on track before
A lot of those bad games have also been on the road. They're going to be back at home, needing to get things back on track
yeah. But once again, we're coming off a win, you know?
against Houston.
You know what? We can beat the last place team, then we can beat the first place team.
I don't hate that idea. I don't know if I believe it, but
Wouldn't that be so funny though? If we won, we beat the Shield winners.
yeah,
last game.
that would be great. I would be very uplifting for the fans, I think. And so it should happen. We need it to happen.
And it's not Orlando's final home match of the season because they'll get playoffs at home.
Yeah, it's true. They've got a lot of players. We do have a lot of players also going away on international break, but Orlando's got a lot of players going away on international break as well. And they're playing like a lot of games in this international window for whatever reason. Everybody kind of is. So that's going to be very taxing and interesting to see what they do with the lineup.
Because you don't know who's going to be on minutes restrictions, who picked up a couple knocks, in the international window. So we'll see.
Yeah, and Mondesir is also like Hades playing 3 games. So like I don't know how many minutes Mondesir is gonna get, but probably a lot. So
Yeah.
I don't know that Harvey's gonna be starting her after that, and that seems like a reasonable decision to make. Howell will be back. So I imagine we'll see Jalen Howell again.
Oh, thank God.
I'll take that. That's a consolation, I guess. Maybe her and Olivia Athens. Give me
Yeah.
another Athens start.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Yeah, for sure. One shout out for this week. I'm gonna shout out Jacob Cristobal. He is a writer, covers the rain for Ride of the Valkyries with Sounder at Heart, and all that stuff. And he's been a very good friend of mine online and everything, and kind of helping me connect with the rain community. And I don't know, he's just a really nice guy and knows his shit and really loves the team. And he's been covering the rain for so freaking long. But he's stepping away from covering the rain after this season, and I think we're definitely gonna miss him and everything that he's brought. I also want to thank him for just like everything that he's done over the years.
Same here. I mean, huge loss, but also for everything that he's done. What an incredible body of work for the rain. Nobody's done it like him.
And now he gets to go be a fan in a normal way, and that sounds nice. He's been working hard for so long, and I think he, at some point you kind of need a break. Covering sports and all that stuff is very taxing, especially when, I don't know, it's an independent soccer thing.
Mhm.
People have other jobs and do this. Hopefully I can hit up some games with him now that he's not going to be working so much during them. So shout out Jacob. I think that's it, right?
Yeah. We haven't talked about what we're gonna do in the off season.
Go on vacation.
I mean, should we do a monthly pod?
I don't know. We'll decide. I don't know how many resources we have to get like an interview with some players. And also there's some contract stuff going on. So I don't know that we're gonna be able to get anybody that isn't under contract going into like the next season. I don't know. We could also cover the USLW stuff going on.
Yeah.
USLW, because there's some news there that affects Seattle, especially. But I definitely don't expect regular weekly stuff, I would say, until
No.
the season's kicking off. Definitely gonna taper out and enjoy and also kind of work on some stuff behind the scenes, probably.
Well, we'll have some bonus pod content.
I don't know. We'll see if we have get creative. If not, we're just gonna enjoy ourselves. I'm gonna enjoy not having to edit every week.
But you can always find us on the internet.
We're on Instagram. Our handle is Cooler Guild Pod. We're on Twitter. We're gonna maybe get away from that because I don't know, it's looking bad over there. But if you want to go on there for now, Cooler Guild Pod is also the same handle.
We have an email address. We love to receive emails. So if you would like to indulge us and send us a little something, our email is thecoolerguild@gmail.com. You can also find us on the main website, sounderatheart.com/thecoolerguild.
If you're on our website and you look at our posts as well for all these episodes, we also now have a tip option. So if you don't want to do the full subscription, annual subscription, monthly subscription, whatever for Sounder at Heart, you could just leave us a little tip. We appreciate that if anyone wants to do that. And wherever you're listening, please go rate 5 stars.
5 stars.
Till next time, I'm Coop.
I'm Van.
Bye.
Bye. Is it ricilla?
Raicilla? It could be raicilla though. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Like a tortilla.